So the National Association of Realtors just released a new housing report showing that a major trend that we've seen since May of 2020 has just been broken. And this could indicate a major change in the real estate market for 2021. So the report that we're taking a look at today is titled February 2021 Existing Home Sales Annual Pace Falls to 6.22 million. Housing market activity this February fell 6.6% from January 2021. February's existing sales reached 6.22 million seasonally adjusted annual rate. February sales of existing home sales did rise 9% from February of 2020. So what this is essentially saying is that since May of 2020, the number of homes sold every single month has been increasing until last month. Last month was the first time we've seen a major decline in the number of homes sold compared to the previous month. And that could be huge and could be an indication of a trend reversal in the number of homes being sold. Now, what's interesting is the number of homes being sold has been going up over the last 12 months, but the amount of homes entering the real estate market, the number of homes actually for sale, has been going down at the same time. And that is why we've seen home prices increasing, because we have a lot more buyers in the market, but the inventory has been decreasing. And that's what's really driving this real estate market right now. But real quick, my name is Malcolm Lawson. I'm a full-time real estate agent and put out real estate advice and market update videos just like this one. So if you want to stay up to date on the real estate market trends and the value of your home, consider subscribing. So the report goes on to say that the national median existing home prices of all housing types rose to $313,000 in February, and that is up 15.8% from 1 year ago. And this marks the 108th consecutive month of year-over-year gains. So let's just let that sink in for a second here, that the average home price in America has increased 15.8% in the last 12 months, and that the home values have increased month over month for 108 months straight. So that is fantastic news for any homeowners out there. You know, a lot of people say that their home is their largest investment, and I agree with that. And I think that real estate makes a fantastic investment. And if you are a homeowner, you've now made 15% profit on your home in just the last 12 months. So if you are a homeowner, you're sitting pretty good right about now. Now, however, if you are a buyer or maybe a first-time home buyer, you don't own a home, this is not the best news for you. This means that you now have to pay 15% more for that home on average compared to if you would have bought 12 months ago. Now, this report does break these numbers down a little bit more specific to the different regions in the US. The report reads that the West had the largest gains of 20.6%, followed by the Northeast with an increase of 20.5%. The Midwest showed an increase of 14.2%, and the South had the smallest price gain of 13.6% from February 2020. So the Western and the Eastern states saw the biggest increase in their homes values of an average of about 20%. So I personally bought my home for $400,000 at the very start of 2020, and that's a pretty average price here in Maryland. Maryland's average price is a little bit higher than a lot of the other places because we do have a lot of really good jobs and military bases here. But if you take that average price of a $400,000 home and you multiply that by the 20% increase that this report's saying that we're seeing in the East, that's $82,000. So the last 12 months, I've built $82,000 in equity in my home just by me being a homeowner. And that is huge for a lot of people. So a lot of Americans, millions of Americans, have a significant boost in the equity in their homes over the last year. And one good thing about having that much equity in your home is that you're less likely to get foreclosed on because you have other options. You could do a cash out refinance, or you could even sell your home and take that profit. So most Americans right now are above water on their properties, right? They have equity in their homes, and if they had to sell, they would at minimum break even, but most likely walk away with a little bit of profit. So I think that is a really good sign that we may not see a major foreclosure crisis in this country like we saw in 2006, 2007, unless something dramatic happens to home values. So the report goes on to say that compared with February of 2020, inventory levels dropped 29.5%. This would mark 21 straight months of year-over-year decline, and it will take 2 months to move the current level of inventory at the current sales paces. And so you see how these three numbers are all correlated. So nationally, we've seen a decline in inventory by about 30%, but an increase in the number of sales by about 9% compared to this time last year. And because of that, because we're seeing more sales and less inventory, home values are rising on average about 15%. The amount of inventory in the market and the number of sales is what directly impacts the increase in home values. So before we ever see a decrease in home values, those two numbers are going to have to be adjusted and shifted. We either need to have a lot more inventory or the number of sales goes down. If we ever see that in the market, that is what's going to impact the value of your home and when we could start seeing home values declining. The report also says that it takes approximately 20 days for a home to go from listing to contract in the current housing market. A year ago, on average, it took 36 days. And anecdotally, that's exactly what I'm seeing here in Maryland as well, that the days on market has significantly been decreased. So they're saying that an average of 20 days, but they're taking into fact rural areas and urban areas and $100,000 homes and $1 million homes, right? But $100,000 homes and $1 million homes typically take a lot longer to sell. They typically don't get as many offers as that kind of sweet spot in the middle, right? Between like $300,000 and $600,000, kind of the average price range here in Maryland. And what we're seeing is that a lot of homes are selling under a week. In less than a week, those homes go from being on the market to being under contract. It's not uncommon to see homes sell in less than 3 days, literally a weekend. What real estate agents typically do here in Maryland is they'll put a home on the market on Friday, let everybody see the property over the weekend, and by Monday they accept an offer. They typically have multiple offers by that Monday. So 20 days is the average days on market nationwide, but don't let that deceive you. Don't think that you can take your time looking at these properties. Most likely in that average price range in your area, whatever that may be, that number is going to be significantly shorter and probably less than 7 days. This report points out another very interesting trend that I find a little disturbing, unfortunately. But according to this, single-family home sales were up 8%, while condominium sales were up 18.6% compared to 1 year ago. The median sales price of single-family homes rose 16.2% to $317,100 from February of 2020, while the median sales price of condominiums rose 12.3% to $280,000. So what this is saying is that home sales are obviously up, but condo sales are up a lot more, a much bigger increase in the number of condos being sold compared to single-family homes. And this could be a larger macro trend that we're seeing nationwide, that a lot of single-family homes are becoming more and more unaffordable for a lot of people, and they're resorting to buying a condo instead of a single-family home just because they're typically much more affordable. And there's nothing inherently wrong with buying a condo. I think condos are great for first-time homebuyers, a lot of people in very specific situations. But I do believe there's a lot of people who wanted a detached home but had to settle for condos. And I think that this may be a larger trend that we're going to see in the housing market moving forward because we have such low inventory right now. One of the quickest ways to increase the inventory in the market is going to be incentivize builders to build more condominiums, right? That's going to be one of the most efficient ways to get the most number of units for sale in the market. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a major trend moving forward, so that we're going to see a lot more people buying condos and a lot more builders building condos as well. So if you want to see what my predictions are for the 2021 housing market, you can check that out right here. And don't forget to subscribe for more real estate tips, advice, and market update videos just like this one. Hit that little bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you over in the next video.